Hi, welcome back to your channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I'm your host, Dr. Ghosh, and I'm back today with an awe inspiring story for all of you. Our story today centers around the never, ever give up attitude. The inspirational person I'm going whose story I'm going to be sharing with you today displayed raw courage, a never give up attitude, and faith in himself to overcome all odds, including the thought of suicide due to his multiple failures, and then went on to become a super successful entrepreneur and a billionaire to boot. Friends, for those of you who are already my subscribers on YouTube, thank you. And for those of you who are coming on to the first time to this channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant, let me give you a brief about this channel. This channel was started in 2015 on Facebook, and today on that invite only group, we have about 820 members. On WhatsApp, we have about 120 members, and on YouTube, which we started in May 2020, we have, as on date, 430 subscribers. What is the reason for this growth? The reason is we are very clear about our mission. Our mission is to strengthen the moral fiber and change the thought patterns of the present and coming generations. How do we do this? By sharing daily inspiration with you on Facebook and the WhatsApp groups, and sharing with you true stories of mankind at its very best. I request you to join our mission by subscribing to the channel, pressing the like button, and sharing these videos with your friends and family. Your sharing of these videos could end up changing the attitude of someone and making a difference to his or her life. Friends, I've additionally have thought of this story and brought it for you today, as mankind today requires this attitude of never ever giving up. Mankind is engaged in a battle, a war with the infamous COVID 19 virus, which has ravaged millions of lives. Millions have lost their livelihoods, and many million more have lost their lives in this battle. It is at this time, these difficult and critical times, that a positive attitude and raw courage coupled with a never ever give up attitude and faith in oneself will make a difference to you, your family, and your community. All of us at some point or other in our lives have felt that we are in grave difficulty and have felt like giving up. But trust me, friends, for those of us who continue despite all these odds, difficulties, maybe financial, physical, emotional, the universe will conspire to award you for not giving up. You are alive. Keep going. You never know what tomorrow will bring. Today may be difficult, tomorrow may be even more so, but the day after tomorrow, the world will be at your feet. There will be sunshine, there will be laughter, there will be happiness. You have to believe in yourself. Don't give up. never, never, ever give up. That is the only sure short way to success. Don't think, never ever think that somebody you know or have heard about or admire has had it easy in life. Nobody's life is a cakewalk. Even the richest of the richest, who seem to be the what do you call idols of today's youth, have not had it easy. Nobody's life is a cakewalk. If you study the lives of all great people, of people who have achieved something in life, you will know that it is because they never, never ever gave up that they are where they are today. So, if you want to succeed in life, never give up. Another blow, another step, and you could turn out to be a winner. And you will. You will. Failures are but a stepping stone to success. Every one of us has failed at something or the other. But those who thought the failure was final went into a depression or committed suicide did a great injustice not only to themselves, to their families, their friends, their well wishers, who they could have approached for support and could have changed their future. So, with a final word of today's theme, never, never, ever give up. Let's go on to our stories. The inspirational person I'm going to be speaking to you about today is Colonel Harland David Sanders. Have you heard his name? I'm sure you have. He is associated with the international brand Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC as all of us know it. He had a very difficult childhood and faced multiple failures in life, even thought of committing suicide, but good sense prevailed and he didn't give up and died a billionaire. Also, he achieved his life goals. Let's hear more about him. Harland David Sanders was born on 9th September 1890 at Henryville, Indiana, USA. The oldest of four children, he was born to Wilbur David and Margaret Ann Sanders, who were deeply religious Christians. His father died in 1895, just 5 years after young Harland David Sanders was born. Sorry, excuse me. And his mother had to go to work at a tannery, and young Harland had to stay back and look after his siblings. Times were so tough that the children foraged for food when their mother was working, and at a tender age of 10 years, young Harland, or Colonel Sanders as we know him, went to work as a farmland to support his family. His mother remarried in 1902, and young Harland had a very difficult relationship with his stepfather. 1903, he dropped out of 7th grade and continued working as a farmhand. At 13, he took on a job painting horse carriages at Indianapolis after he left home permanently. And at 14, in South Indiana, he rejoined working as a farm hand. Tough childhood, huh? Between 1906 to 1930, he went through a series of jobs. First, he joined as a conductor in a streetcar company, then joined the mandatory year at the US Army in 1906 and was honorably discharged in 1907. Then worked as a blacksmith helper in the Southern Railway. By 16, he was a steam engine stroker. He was doing well, he had progressed, but he was fired in 1909 from there because of a brawl. He was pretty self opinionated, let's say. 1910, he joined Norfolk and Western Railway. While working here, he met his future wife, Josephine King, and married her. They had three children, son Harlan Jr., and two daughters, Margaret and Mildred. Harlan Jr. Died shortly thereafter in 1932 at a very young age because of tonsillitis infections. Colonel Harlan David Sanders then started working as a fireman in Illinois Central Railroad and also started studying for his law degree. He was fired again from here for brawling with his colleague and he moved on to Rock Island Railroad, and his wife and children went to Josephine's parents to stay with them because of Harlan's inability to take care of them and his self opinionated ways. Moving on, after he got his law degree, he practiced law for 3 years and was able to support his family comfortably. But as fate would have it, because of his bullheaded ways, here too he ended up having a brawl with one of his own clients and his reputation was shattered. He had to give up his law practice. Imagine having to give up something for which he has studied for 3 long years. A low point in his life was at this point, where because of his bullheadedness, lack of self control, impatience, self righteousness, and lack of diplomacy. He even thought of committing suicide at this point in his life. But good sense prevailed, and he worked as a laborer then in Pennsylvania Railroad while moving in with his mother to ensure that he did not have to live off the streets. He also tried his luck in selling insurance for some time. In 1920, he decided to go into ferry business and established a ferry boat company, which was an instant success, and he cashed in on his success, selling it for $22,000, which would be worth about $330,000 today, and established a company manufacturing acetylene lamps, and it failed badly. Then he moved on as a salesman in Michigan Tire Company. Business closed and he lost his job in 1924. There, by chance, he met the general manager of Standard Oil and started running a service station which closed due to the Great Depression. As you can see, friends, he went through multiple failures, multiple failures, multiple difficulties. He was only successful in the ferry business, which he cashed in on and started another manufacturing company on acetylene lamps, where he met with failure again. At this point of time, Harlan had also thought about committing suicide, but luckily, good sense prevailed. Moving on, between 1930 to 1952, we'll share with you what happened during these intermediate years. He joined with the Shell Oil Company as a service station in Kentucky, and here is where he established his now famous Kentucky Fried Chicken. He started frying chicken and serving them in his living quarters, and then went on to establishing a restaurant where he served these chicken along with ham and steaks. Gradually, he became renowned throughout the area, and the then governor commissioned him as Colonel Kentucky in 1935. Another crowning glory occurred in 1939 when food critic Duncan Hines visited the restaurant and included it in his Adventures of Good Eating. This was the starting of his success of his secret chicken recipe. July 1939, he established a motel in Asheville, serving his famous chicken. 1914 July, he had finalized his secret recipe for frying chicken with pressure fryer. 1941, the USA joined the World War II, and rationing forced him to close his business in Asheville, and he worked as a supervisor and then later as a cafeteria manager. He tasted success but had to close down because of circumstances beyond his control, the World War II, and go back to working as an employee. In 1947, after World War II, he divorced his first wife Josephine and married his longtime lover Claudia. 1950, he was recommissioned as Colonel Kentucky by the then governor and his close friend. Between his wife Claudia and him, they would go across the country trying to sell the chicken and getting franchisees for the same. In 1952, he established his first franchise with Pete Herman in Salt Lake South, which resulted in the restaurant having a 75% increase in its business, only thanks to this secret recipe of Kentucky Fried Chicken. After this success, several other hoteliers and restaurateurs came to him and started taking on a franchise from him for $0.04 per piece of chicken sold. 1959, they established the company headquarters in Shelbyville and opened a new restaurant there, and expanded internationally to Canada, UK, Mexico, Jamaica. In 1962, Colonel Kentucky patented his method of pressure frying. He also trademarked the phrase "it's finger licking good" in 1963, and saw rapid expansion in over 600 plus locations across the globe. Colonel Sanders was growing old. He had become 73 years old when in 1964 he decided to sell his business for 2 million or 16.5 million in today's value to a partnership of Kentucky businessmen. Colonel became a salaried brand ambassador, and he only retained the Canada operations with him. In 1965, he moved to Canada to take care of his business in Canada, and in the period to promote his business, he traveled over 2 lakh miles or 3,20,000 kilometers in a year, promoting his business and doing film commercials to ensure that his business continued to flourish. In 1980, he was diagnosed with acute leukemia and died on 16 December 1980. His legacy was over 6,000 KFC outlets with sales of over 2 billion in sales dollars when he died. He also, before he died, had established a charity, Colonel Harland Sanders Charitable Organization, which donated huge sums of money to hospitals and children welfare. Colonel Sanders will forever remain an icon for the never ever give up attitude, following one's dreams, and having faith in oneself. Friends, I'm sure you liked this inspirational story which I bought for you of Colonel Kentucky, who, thanks to his never say die attitude, courage, and faith in himself, went on to be a billionaire at the age of 73. Friends, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and share the video with your friends and family and join our mission of changing the thought process and strengthening the moral fiber of the coming and future generations. Only by living by human values and principles can one succeed in life, and if one adopts shortcuts, one is sure to fail. Maybe not immediately, but in the long run, failure is assured unless one lives by human values and principles. One of the best attitudes to adopt in life is never, ever, ever giving up. Friends, mankind is facing its biggest battle against the COVID 19 virus. And it is in these times that this attitude of never, ever, ever giving up will help you move on to the next level in your life, personal, professional, and in your relationships. Till we meet again with another awe inspiring story to inspire all of you. Good luck, all the best, stay safe.